Hey guys, it's Brant, and I'm back with another track versus track video. And today we're going to be revealing and counting down the tracks for Lick It Up versus Asylum. Now, before we get into today's episode talking about these albums and comparing the tracks, I want to talk a little bit about some things as far as going into the new year 2021. Thank God we're past 2020, and it's looking like 2021 isn't off to the greatest start so far, but here's hoping that things get better. But I want to offer something different for you guys this year. I'm going to be picking back up on videos now that the holidays are over and life is stabling up a little bit, and I've got the piano desk back behind me. I love this set behind me. I love it. And I added some little LED lights there, and that's real cool. But I'm going to get back into doing some things. I'm going to get back into doing the post-Kiss solo albums. I'm going to be doing some 80s track. The panel has spoken things, and I'm going to be continuing on doing track versus track. Going to be adding some different things like some cooking videos and some things like that, some top fives. I've got a top five video that I'm working on with my wife, top five Valentines, and top five songs that get you in the mood or get your juices flowing, and that's going to be coming up. So be looking out for that because I want to hear what your top five songs are that get you in the mood, any genre, any song, it don't matter, but be looking for that post on my social media. And but what I wanted to do is I wanted to offer something for you guys to see if you want to do it or not. And if you want to do it, that's great. If you don't want to do it, you don't have to. I'm going to start offering you guys to be able to donate to the channel. You can donate $10. And I'm going to put the information up on the screen. If you want to donate $10, you can send it to my Cash App. That's the easiest way to get it to me. And then you can send me an email and let me know what your donation is for. And what the donation can be for, it can just be to support the channel, for me to have money to put back into the channel. Or it can be, what I'd like for you to do is to request something. You can request for me to react to a song that you really like and you want to hear what my thoughts are on it. Or you can have me rate an album, like listen to an album and rank my songs on it from most favorite to least favorite. You can do that. You can pick two albums. I don't care. They don't have to be Kiss albums. You can pick two albums and have me do a track versus track. Listen to both of them and decide which track I like better out of the two of them. Or you can just request something. You can request some kind of video. Like if you want me to make a video about something, if you want to ask a question or want to ask a series of questions, and I'll answer them. And so if you want to donate to the channel, just to donate $10, just send it to my Cash App, that information that is showing on the screen right now. And if you don't want to do anything like that, then just continue to watch the videos, and I'll continue making videos. But I really would like to get input from you guys, and that would also help to support the channel. It's something you don't have to do if you don't want to, but it's there for you to do. So let's go ahead and get into the panel. Now, it's not just going to be me today. I'm going to have three other hosts with me. I'm going to have my co-host Carla. I'm going to have a returning co-host that has been in videos with me, Emily Graziano. And I'm going to have a first-time co-host, Les Wadley. He's been on the panel for a long time viewer of the channel. They're going to be joining me in just a minute. But what I'm going to do is go ahead and talk about the panel and give you guys some props and give you guys some credit and say your name so you can hear your name that you were involved in this panel. So there's 53 of us on the panel this time. So we have me, Carla, Les, and Emily. And from YouTube, we have Tom Tobin, Sonic Riccardi, John O, Tweaky Robot, Roger Bennett, Jesse Ray, George Gatta, Mick C. Horror, Andy Joens, Joel Pegg, Jay Reed, Gregory Pegg, Paul Bertolino, Indie Colt 777, Jeremy Kimona, Robbie Stars, Trevor Bullock, Hard Rock Reverie, and a little shout out to Hard Rock Reverie. He's just started his channel. I think he has like 40 subscribers or something like that. But I saw a video he posted the other day. And so I believe in the community, supporting the community. So go check out Hard Rock Reverie, and it's spelled Reverie. So go check him out. Mikkel D, Sublime 130, Future Squash 767, Armand 1972, Raven FM, Super Kiss 1300, Two Gay Dads. From Twitter, David King, Eric Mosiu, Tom Dust, Darren Helliwell, Steve Hardy, Andy, Vanessa, Lee Johnston, Michael Bagford, and Jules. From Instagram, K.A. Peterson 22, The Clarences, my buddy The Clarences, Jay Rucker, It's All For You Demon, Rick, my buddy Aaron, AJ Zetro 1975, Heim from Voice of Doom, Kiss 113 SI, Facebook, we have Matt Ucci, Rex A. Smetzer, he's a first time panelist and been talking to him. Also have Matthew Wasson, John Sweeney, Dale Jones, and my boy Scotty Sky. That is 53 of us on this panel, and I'm just real excited to get into this panel of Lick It Up versus Asylum. So let's go ahead and bring the rest of the crowd in, and let's get right to it. So I've got the whole gang with me, and we're just going to get right into this. We're going to talk about, starting with, we'll go clockwise from my right on the screen. We'll start with Carla, and then Les, and then under me, Emily. But what we're going to start off with is just talking about Lick It Up and Asylum. Which one you favor over the other without giving away too much of your tracks, and if you have any like special tie to one of the albums, and lastly, which one that you predict is going to win the panel track versus track. So we'll start with Carla.
Yeah, both of these albums to me are just really interesting in their own separate ways. I think they're kind of layered, and yeah, I just think there's just a lot of interesting parts to these albums. Lick It Up for me, I think it's such an important album for Kiss, because I think in a lot of ways this album was kind of a do or die album for with Lick It Up. This was their first album without makeup. This was their first album where they were fully embracing 2 new members, because with Creatures, they were still trying to tiptoe that line a little bit of having Ace in the band still. That's why he's on the album cover. And this was their first album where they were fully embracing 2 new members. And, you know, knowing Gene and Paul's ego, maybe they didn't see it this way, but this really was a make or break album for them. And I think if they didn't have a huge hit like Lick It Up on the album Lick It Up, who knows where their career would have gone to. You know, I think that song really saved them, and it gave them that monster hit that they needed that Creatures didn't give them. So I hold Lick It Up to a really high standard. I really think it's an important album for the band. Asylum, it's another important album for them. It's a totally different sound. It was a totally different direction for them. But both albums, man, these are great albums, and they're both great representations of 80s Kiss, you know, post-makeup Kiss. So really, really great albums. Between the two, I think Lick It Up is barely going to take this one.
Okay. Les, what about you?
Well, where to start? Me and you close to the same age, Brand, I think. So we kind of, I guess, maybe lived it a little better. I remember my friends coming over during the unmasking on MTV when they were doing all of that and everything was coming out. You kind of heard a little bit of rumors in school about the makeup maybe coming off and all that stuff. So everybody was just all jazzed. And I had a satellite dish, showing my age here. I know you remember those, Brand, big in the big yard, backyard, big satellite.
Yeah.
Yes.
We had one.
We had one of those. So everybody was like, dude, we're going to Les's house to watch, see what, Kiss really looks like and all that stuff. So I had a bunch of friends over and everything. And I was bummed because I was such a makeup, so my older brother was into Kiss and got me into Kiss when I was like 4 years old. So I went to the Dynasty show and all that. So I knew, all of that. So it was just like, oh man, but after going to the Creatures show, and Ace not being there, not knowing it, and like I guess like Carla was talking about the whole Kiss. I mean, in '83, honestly, Kiss pretty much was like, really, you still like Kiss? I mean, it was kind of, for most people, it was kind of not, But then when that album came out, I remember we had a rock station and they were like blowing up, Lick It Up. It was like everywhere, and everybody's like going, dude, Kiss is cool again, I guess. And I'm like, I guess they took the makeup off. They could actually play again or whatever, But yeah, that album to me is very, like you said, is very important and moving Kiss forward into the '80s. And I agree, Carl. If they hadn't had that with Lick It Up, I honestly don't. I don't know if they would have been able to even do another album, because I mean it was bad. The Preacher show I went to was about half empty and stuff. It was just, and really all I saw the Lick It Up tour in Birmingham Boutwell, and it was not really much better crowd wise, but it was a great band. I mean, I think, most people don't like Vinny, but the sound of that lineup was really awesome. And then like with Asylum, I was like full in. I was like total Kiss mode. I was like 12 at that time, and it was like, I love the album. To me, one of the best solos on a Kiss record, period, is Bruce Kulick's lead guitar break in Tears Are Falling. I mean, that just nailed that solo just perfectly. I had to learn that. I said, I'm going to learn this thing note for note, but just two very, very good albums. But I probably got to go Lick It Up. If I was to say just which one I think would probably win, I would go Lick It Up.
All right, Em?
Okay, first of all, my mom wants to say hi. She said for me to say hi to everybody and all of you out there, and that she misses
Hello.
Rick and Grant together because they're awesome. Like, they got the Kiss bromance, so there's that. For me, I remember my mom told me that she watched The Unmasking on MTV, and it was like a big thing, and she graduated high school in 1983, so for her, it was really like, okay, this is new Kiss. This is a new stage in my life, so that was kind of her take on it. And she just remembers being very shocked, like, they're actually going to do it, because there had always been that rumor. For me, Lick It Up was more so a part of my childhood, but weirdly, I thought for a little bit that Bruce was on the cover when I was little. Like, it's the hair. It's always the hair. Like, Kiss always has to have the black hair. So that album was more a part of my childhood, but I will say there are some specific songs on Asylum that were also a specific part of my childhood. I just never knew what album they came from, and I discovered Asylum as a whole a little bit later, like maybe when I was like 10 or 11, I listened to the album for the first time. So with that, I'm also going to go Look It Up, but only slightly, because Asylum is like a whole different chapter for Kiss with a solid lineup. So, and Look It Up was still kind of that shaky, experimental. So I'm going to go also with Look It Up.
Okay. These albums, I remember I was 13, 14 years old when Kiss took the makeup off. I remember seeing it on TV. I remember seeing it on MTV and taking the makeup off. And the first thing I remember thinking when I was a kid is, wow, they're ugly.
My mom's.
Definitely. Yeah.
No wonder they wore makeup,
Exactly.
But I remember I love Lick It Up. I love both these albums. I remember when Asylum came out. I was around 15, 16 years old when Asylum came out. And I have a personal memory tied to Asylum. I think I've talked about it before, but I'll talk about it later when we get to the song in particular. But there's a song on here that I just have a personal memory to, a fun memory. And so I have a tendency to, lean a little more towards Asylum. But I was sitting here, when I thought, okay, who's going to win this? I initially said Lick It Up was going to win. That's what I initially predicted. But then I started looking at my predictions of the individual songs, and I actually found that I had predicted more Asylum songs to win. So if I go by my predictions of the songs, I have to say Asylum. And I've got Asylum winning 6-4 on my personal predictions. Wow. So we'll see if that's what happens. So we may have an upset. Who knows? But yeah, so these are both awesome albums, and and we'll talk about the what cover we like better. We'll talk about that later. But first, let's go ahead and get into the tracks. Let's go ahead and start with track number 1, and that puts. We'll get our predictions. We'll go around and get our predictions, and then we'll go around after I reveal the winner. We'll go around and give our personal picks. So we're starting with predictions. The first track is Between Exciter off of Lick It Up and King of the Mountain off of Asylum. My prediction on this is King of the Mountain, because I just think King of the Mountain, starting with Eric Carr's drums, he's just that's Eric goofing off in the studio. Just goofing off. Just, all that shit he's doing. And that's just King of the Mountain is an awesome way to start an album. To me, it is the best track to start Asylum. Exciter, to me, it's one of those songs I've never really gotten into personally. So, but I predicted that the panel's going to choose King of the Mountain. So, what about you, Carla?
I think that the panel's going to go with Exciter. That was just when I heard the two next to each other. For some reason, my brain went panel, Exciter, done. So I think they're going to go with Exciter.
Okay, Les.
I got to go King of the Mountain for all the reasons that you said, Brant. I mean, that drum intro, and isn't it kind of crazy? You said like he was just messing around doing that thing. It's the same thing on Animalize where Paul was doing that vocally, just doing that beginning of Heaven's on Fire, doing that little vocal thing. It's funny how two things like that really were just them not even being serious, started Kiss songs.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I got to go King of the Mountain.
Okay. Em?
I'm gonna have to go with Carla on this one and go Exciter, because I think it's more well known, and just for the fact of be excited, this is new Kiss, like when they were promoting Lick It Up. I think there's definitely a reason why that's the first track on here rather than Lick It Up. So I'm gonna go Exciter on that one too.
Okay. All right. So the Boys Against the Girls, track number 1.
I just noticed that, yeah.
Boys Against. I wonder if that sets a trend here for the rest of the. We'll see.
Okay.
So, track number 1, coming in second with 16 points, is King of the Mountain. King of the Mountain.
Wow.
So coming in at number 1 with 36, Exciter. 36 to 16.
For the ladies.
36 to 16. So that gives Lick It Up. Yeah, y'all high five. Yeah, go ahead.
Virtual high five.
Yeah. So Lick It Up 1 out of the gate. So that brings us to track 2. Not for the Innocent off of.
Wait, we gotta see what it's like.
Oh yeah. Okay, I'm sorry. Yes, look, she keeps me straight. I'm telling you guys.
Exactly.
She's I need to make her my producer because she keeps me straight.
Produced by.
Yeah, I'm going to start giving her production credits at the end. Produced by Carla Dimitri.
There you go.
All right, so my personal pick on this is King of the Mountain. For what I said earlier, I love King of the Mountain. It's a great way to start the album. And no slight against Exciter. I think Exciter's great too. But between the two of these, I'm just more drawn towards King of the Mountain. So what about your personal pick, Carla?
I actually went with Exciter as well. And when it comes to the first track on our track versus track videos, I always judge the first 2 tracks and the rest, because not only am I just going track versus track, but I'm also going opening versus opening. And I think Exciter is just a heavier opening, and it's a better interpretation of what the entire album is going to sound like. So for me personally, for that reason, I had to go with Exciter.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Les, your personal pick.
I went with King of the Mountain, but can I change sides now and go with the ladies so I can win or whatever and go Exciter? But no, I mean, to me, Exciter doesn't even have the complete Kiss on there. I mean, Rick Derringer played the solo on that, so that's not really Vinny, which I've always wanted to hear the original Vinny solo. I don't know if that's out there. Somebody's got it, send it to me. But yeah, I got to go King of the Mountain. I don't know, that drum intro, Eric's drumming on that is just phenomenal. So I got to pick that one.
All right, Em.
I personally also picked Exciter. I don't know. I love King of the Mountain though. Like that one was a very difficult one for me to do. And if I did it right now, right now, I would have gone with the King of the Mountain. It's just there are two great songs. Eric drums great on both tracks, I think. It's very difficult. But yeah, I went Exciter based on what I was feeling when I did it.
Yep. Yeah, and Exciter does set the tone for the album, like you said, Carla, and King of the Mountain does set the tone for Asylum, and Lick It Up has this sound that sounds like very post Creatures. It still has kind of a, I don't know, it's kind of like a weird, spooky kind of, not spooky, but just has a weird sound to it that Asylum doesn't have. So let's go to track 2. That puts Not for the Innocent from Lick It Up, another song that has kind of a spooky sound to it, against Any Way You Slice It off of Asylum. So what are predictions, starting with you, Carla?
I think Lick It Up is going to keep going. I think it's going to be Not for the Innocent.
Okay. All right, you, Les?
I'd go Not for the Innocent also.
Okay.
I think it's gonna, yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with that one as well. Not for the Innocent.
Okay. And I predicted that the panel was going to choose Not for the Innocent as well on this one. What the panel chose with between Not for the Innocent and Any Way You Slice It, what the panel chose at number 2 with 14 points is Any Way You Slice It. What they chose for number 1 with 38 points is Not for the Innocent. And my personal pick for between these two songs is Any Way You Slice It. I love Any Way You Slice It. And I remember, this is the one I have that memory of. I remember there was a guy that had a print shop, and he was painting one of those big, huge satellite dishes back in the day, back in '85. He was painting a Carolina Tar Heels Ram on it. And me and my friends, this place was right in front of my house, and me and my friends had walked up there, and I had my boombox with my Asylum cassette tape in it, and we're up there playing it, and it's at nighttime, it was dark, and it was during the summer. He was painting, and he was up on a ladder, and this song came on, and he started kind of dancing around on the ladder. He came, and I remember him coming, I can still see it in my head. He came down off the ladder, and he's like, "Boys, you're going to have to turn that song off. That song makes me want to..."
That's brilliant.
I was just like, click, because you're saying this to a bunch of teenage boys. I told my wife that, and she's like, "He said that to a bunch of teenage boys?" I'm like, yep, he did. But yeah, so Anyway You Slice It, I love the opening line. I caught the tail of a hurricane. Gene just has the best lyrics. You're hot under the collar, ain't your mother's little daughter anymore. That whole cadence of all that. And just the way he sings it and delivers it, I can't say enough about any. And Not for the Innocent's great too, because it's a demon song, in my opinion. It's like God of Thunder stuck on Lick It Up. But to me, Any Way You Slice It, it's just fun, and I love it. So what about your personal pick, Carla?
Yeah, this is definitely 70s Gene up against 80s Gene, and you kind of have to pick which one you like. I love and I think it's great. However, it gets a little Kenny Loggins-y at that one point where the song kind of breaks down, and I don't know, for some reason, I mean, I love it, but for some reason it just, I don't know, I kind of lose it a little bit at that point. I kind of zone out a little bit. Not for the Innocent is great, and you're right, it is Demon Gene, which we don't see a lot of in the 80s. So when you do get those little glimpses into Demon Gene in the 80s, it's really, really, I love it, and I think it's great to end. So I went with Not for the Innocent.
Okay, what about you, Les?
Definitely Not for the Innocent. I mean, that intro alone, that little D minor type thing that he's doing right yonder, it's a cool song to play. I remember learning that, and just like, yeah, it's one of my favorite songs on the album. But now I got to go back and listen any way you slice it and get that Kenny Loggins thing going. Thanks, Carla. I'll never hear that song the same now. Okay.
Yeah, it's the break.
I'm sorry.
It almost like sounds like he's gonna break into "Now I Gotta Cut Footloose." It
Yeah,
does.
Oh my God.
yeah, I was
Play that
thinking
one
of
and,
Footloose. It gets a little Footloose. Yep.
Yeah. Next time the band plays that one, I'll think of anyway and slice it. But yeah, got to definitely go in. Not for the innocent. Just a cool. I wish Benny and Gene could have done more of that. I think that could have been wow. That could have been just, to me, honestly, Gene needed Benny. I mean, I know that might sound bad, but I mean, if you just listen to the songs they wrote together, it's good.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
All right. What about your personal favorite, Em?
I also went with Not for the Innocent, just probably because I've known it longer. I mean, any way you slice it, I've only actually listened to a handful of times just due to wanting to skip and listen to other things on Asylum. But yeah, I'm gonna have to go back and listen to Any Way You Slice It, and then listen to Footloose right after it, because you can get the good similarities right there automatically. But yeah, I also went with Not for the Innocent. It's different than any other Gene song that he did on Look It Up, and it just sounds like Gene, something he would do. So that's probably why I went with it.
Well, the common factor in these albums that have a darker feel or an edgier feel or a more metalish feel when it comes to Kiss, Creatures, Lick It Up, and Revenge, they all have one common denominator.
Vinnie Vincent.
And that's Vinnie Vincent. So, and Vinnie Vincent hadn't intervened with Kiss between the Creatures era and the Lick It Up era. Between those two albums, we might not have a Kiss. And I hate to say that. A lot of people, they don't agree with that. But it is a very strong argument.
Agree with you 100%, Brent.
All right, so that takes us to track 3. That takes us to the album title track, Lick It Up, off of Lick It Up, versus Who Wants to Be Lonely, off of Asylum. What's predictions?
Yeah, single versus single, hit versus hit. I think Asylum's going to take this one. I think it's going to be Who Wants to Be Lonely.
All right, Les?
I think it's Lick It Up probably going to take this one. I know it's probably fatigue and burnout and everything like that, but it's just, I don't know. That song was just so huge at the time and everything, and I still think, honestly, I mean, as much as I love Who Wants to Be Lonely, I personally think that the people are going to pick on the panel, they're going to pick Lick It Up.
Okay, Em?
Yeah, I'm going to have to go with Les on this one, because it was huge. This was their first video without the makeup, and they only showed their feet and their legs first, and then it pans out. That was a major moment, and I think people are going to go for that one. So
okay. I predicted Who Wants to Be Lonely. So it's the top versus the bottom. So it's the two.
We got this.
All right. So coming in second with 12 points. So a little bit of a landslide. Not the worst landslide on the album, but coming in second with 12 points, Lick It Up. Who Wants to Be Lonely wins with 40 points. And,
oh my God.
And that puts Lick It Up ahead 3-1 so far. 3-1 at this point. No, 2-1. I'm sorry. That puts Lick It Up ahead 2-1 at this point. So, me personally, my personal pick between these two is Who Wants to Be Lonely. I've never been the biggest fan of Lick It Up. On the album, I thought it was played entirely too slow, and it's just so simple. It doesn't really have a solo. I like the video, but the video doesn't make me like the song anymore. This is a song that I really don't care if they play live or not, but even when they play it live, the good thing it has going for it is they speed it up. And they speed it up to the groove that I think it needs to be sped up to. It's entirely too slow on the album, in my opinion. And just too plain. It never has really done anything for me. But now, Who Wants to Be Lonely? Come on. I mean, that is a Paul Stanley construction. And I think he may have had a co-writer. I don't know. I didn't go into my normal research to see who co-wrote with him on any of these songs. But it's a great Paul song. So Who Wants to Be Lonely wins this one for me personally. What about you, Carla?
Yeah, this was a hard one because I love both of these songs. But I personally go with I know people hate Lick It Up, but I personally love it. I think it is such a fun song. It's that fun kiss. I love the music video. And like I said earlier, this was such a huge song for them. And I think this song, it propelled them to the 80s and it allowed them to continue to have a big career in the 80s. And so I respect this song for what it did for the band. But I just think it's so fun. And I have a personal story with this song too. I was learning how to drive and I was trying to master parallel parking. And I just was like really nervous about it. And when I was learning how to drive, I insisted on having the radio on at all times because I thought, well, if I'm going to drive with the radio on, I want to learn how to drive with the radio on. And I remember I was trying to learn how to parallel park. This song came on the radio. I loved the song just as much as I do now. And that song just kind of relaxed me a little bit. And while I was paying attention to the song, I just parallel parked. And I just learned how to do it while I was listening to this song. So I will always love this song for that reason. It's always a memory I have. So I love Lick It Up. That's what I went with.
That's awesome. What about you, Les?
I gotta go with Lick It Up also. I mean, it's a fun song to still play. We played in our set, and we did it like 2 weeks ago, and people still love it. When she, because we kind of do the live version with the longer solo, like you were talking about, Brand, how they do the, and break into the Who, the Won't Get Fooled Again. We do all of that stuff just like they do it, and everybody just loves it and eats it up. And, I just think it's a simple but well-crafted song, written song. And another one I think Paul wrote really well with Vinny. I hate to be on the Vinny bus here or whatever, but, just a huge fan of his. I mean, just super talented, personal-wise, whatever. But, but Who Wants to Be Lonely is one of the best vocals. Paul is like, oh my gosh, killing it on that song vocally. And I look, Brandon, it was Desmond Child and Warren Beviar, I think is how you pronounce his name, co-wrote that with him. So it does have a Desmond feel to it too, if you kind of get, that thing or whatever on the co-write on that. But yeah, I remember that song being all over MTV and just loving the video. Of course, at that time I was 12, and then the girls, it's whatever. But it was so cool. I mean, it's just a great song. Kiss was on a roll in like '85. He loved, that album and Kiss. So, but yeah, I got to go Lick It Up. It's my pick.
Okay, what about you, Em?
I actually went with Who Wants to Be Lonely on this one, and this one was very, very difficult because, shout out to Rick, I'm also a big Smashes and Thrashes person, and Lick It Up is on Smashes, and that was my introduction to Kiss, and Lick It Up is on there, but it was very difficult, but at the end of the day, I'm like, Who Wants to Be Lonely? It just has that incredible Paul vocal, as you all mentioned, and I surprised myself by picking Who Wants to Be Lonely on this one, honestly.
All right. So that brings us to track number 4. And this is between Young and Wasted off of Lick It Up and Trial by Fire off of Asylum. So what's predictions?
I think it's gonna be Young and Wasted with this one.
Okay. Les, what about you?
Young and Wasted also.
Okay.
Wish Eric Carr would have sang it in the studio.
Yeah, I gotta go also with Young and Wasted on this one.
All right. And I predicted Young and Wasted as well. Trial by Fire, I feel Trial by Fire, I feel, is the first song on Asylum that kind of drops down in quality to the rest of the songs on Asylum. And of course, it's a Gene song because Kiss wasn't his priority during this time, so especially in the studio. It's a lot of his songs suffer for that. He'll have 1 or 2 really good songs, and then the rest of his songs are subpar at best. So I predicted Young and Wasted. Um, Coming in at 13 points, second place goes to Trial by Fire. 39 points, first place goes to Young and Wasted. So that brings Lick It Up to 3, Asylum to 1. My personal pick on this, Young and Wasted. It's a great song. It is what Lick It Up is all about, and I agree with Les. They should have let Eric sing it in the studio. Eric had an amazing voice. Gene has a great delivery. I love those screams that he does, but if every time you've ever heard it sung live, it's not been Gene that did it. So they should have let Eric do it. So, but yeah, my personal pick on that, Young and Wasted. What about you, Carla?
Yeah, I went with Young and Wasted as well. And, I don't know if the reason why they didn't have Eric sing it is because they were still trying to kind of test the waters a little bit. Maybe they were, let's just do the not makeup thing first, and then we'll kind of maybe think about having other people sing. But yeah, I just love Young and Wasted, and it's so perfect for this album too. So I went with Young and Wasted.
Okay. Les?
I went with Young and Wasted also. And I agree, kind of leading off what you said, Carla. I think maybe they done that also because that album was, like we were saying earlier, a make or break album for them. And they're going like, wait a minute, do we need another voice that nobody knows on one of these tracks kind of thing? Like, do we need to sell this with Paul and Gene 100%, and let them know we're full in still, and everything. So, yeah. I agree with that. But the Animalized Uncensored live version with Eric singing on that and playing it is just, that's got to be the definitive version of that song. I just wish Eric could have sang more. I mean, I think he's got a wonderful voice. Mm-hmm. But yeah, Young and Wasted for me.
Cam?
Yeah, I also went personally with Young and Wasted. It's really no contest, I personally think. I mean, Trial by Fire is a little bit filler, but
a little bit.
I also
Being nice.
Beside the word filler in the dictionary is the word Trial by Fire.
But I also agree with what all of you said, that Eric should have sang it. Maybe on the track, Gene could have done the "oh yeah" backing vocals, and then Eric with the lead. I think that always would have been very interesting. But I think this is the closest thing that Gene has ever wrote to poetry. That opening of like a fly to a spider, you're under the spell. It's the game and the liar for those who told about that. That's almost like poetry. So I just think that's brilliant.
Mm-hmm. All right, so that brings us up to track 5, and it is in between Give Me More off of the Lick It Up album and I'm Alive off of the Asylum album. And I want to give a shout out to AJ Zetro, 1975. I'm in a chat group with him, him, and Rick, and Tony P. And we talk about, and Matthew Smith, we talk a lot about Kiss on a daily basis, and he was saying it's kind of funny, these two albums, it's like Give Me More, I'm Alive, then that last track on the first side of the album, those frantic kind of Paul songs, it's like they were becoming very calculated on their track listing and how many Gene songs versus how many Paul songs, and in the order that they were tracked out, they were becoming very calculated. So you have two songs here that are very similar. So what's our predictions on Give Me More and I'm Alive?
I think it's going to be I'm Alive, for sure.
Okay. How about you, Les?
Oh, for me, I went with Give Me More for no real reason. I just really not afraid of one of these songs. And then I don't know if most of the panel will either. But I mean, this had to be a tough one. I was back and forth. But I say Give Me More.
Okay.
Oh, I don't know. I maybe the panel will go with I'm Alive. I don't know. I'm just taking a guess.
The ladies are back together.
And I predicted that the panel was going to go with I'm Alive. I thought that they were going to like that one a little better than Give Me More. So what they actually chose with a second with 21 points. This was actually kind of close. It was only a 10-point separation. So it was like the battle of the best of the filler. Which filler is less filling or more filling or whatever? And with the filler is more filling or less filling better? I mean, that's an argument right there. You would think if it's more filling, it's more of a filler, so it's going to suck more. But if it's a filler and it's less filling, then it's actually better. It's the better filler.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Less was in there, so I got to go with less filler. Yeah.
Less filling. So with 21 points, at second place, the panel chose "Gimme More," and at first place they chose "I'm Alive," 31 points. So that takes "Lick It Up" to 3, and at the end of the first side we have "Lick It Up" 3, "Animalize" 2. So we're going to flip the vinyl, and we're going to go to the 6th track. This is
We gotta say which ones we liked.
oh God Almighty, y'all. Okay, all right, Carla.
I was gonna say something, but you jumped in.
You're right, Brent. Hire her immediately. Hire her. Producer.
She's on my payroll. I pay her in M&Ms.
There you go.
Make it almond M&Ms, yeah.
Yeah, almond
Those are my
M&Ms.
favorite.
I pay her in almond M&Ms. That's right.
No
So me personally, I chose "Gimme More." Even though Paul gets in that whole little gimme more towards the end of it, I just like the whole, I love the wildfires on the loose, wildfires gotta move. I just love the whole vibe of "I'm Alive" is just a little too frantic for me. It's like, it's just over the top, a little too frantic. "Gimme More" at least settles back in a groove. And so that's why I chose "Gimme More" better. That's just me. So, what's your personal favorites?
I actually went with "I'm Alive." I love "I'm Alive." That is one of Bruce's shining moments on this album, I think. And it just showcases his talent and how talented he is and how he can go from playing poppier Kiss songs to heavier Kiss songs to shredding. Like, he can go all over the place and do it perfectly. And I just love "I'm Alive" so much. And I love "Gimme More." Like, this was a really hard one for me, and I went back and forth. But at the end of the day, I had to go with "I'm Alive" on this one.
All right.
Well, I chose "Gimme More," but I think I'm going to go with "I'm Alive" now since Carla did all that and kind of made me look at it a little different. But yeah, but Brent, I also agree with you. The groove to me is a little bit better on "Gimme More." I mean, playing it, because I can play most of these songs and it's just like that. I don't know. Plus, I go back on the Vinny bus here or whatever, but I just love his playing on "Lick It Up," period. I just love that. Yeah. So I'll go with "Gimme More."
You drink the gold Kool-Aid.
I do. Kind of. Not as much as the blue, but yeah. Kind of.
Occasionally, you'll drink the gold.
And he was cool when I met him in Atlanta. So I got. What about you, Em?
I went with "Gimme More." Honestly, both of these songs they are like the battle of the filler, but I went with "Gimme More." And weirdly, before I even heard this song for the first time, I thought it was a Gene song just because it has like a Gene title, like "Gimme," like "Give It." I don't know. It just sounds like something Gene would say. But knowing that it was a Paul song kind of shocked me. But yeah, I just went with "Gimme More" because I was feeling Paul. Like I guess I just chose Paul over Gene in that moment.
All right, so now we flip the vinyl, and that takes us to track 6. That's going to put us with "All Hell's Breaking Loose" from "Lick It Up" against "Love's a Deadly Weapon" from Asylum. What's predictions?
I think "Lick It Up" is going to take this one with "All Hell's Breaking Loose."
Okay.
I predict a landslide with this one and go with "All Hell's Breaking Loose."
Yeah, I gotta get on the side of everyone else. How can it not win? That music video and everything, how could it not win? How could it not win?
Yep, and I'm going to predict "All Hell's Breaking Loose" as well. And Les mentioned a landslide. This is the largest difference in points. It's the largest win on the whole album. Coming in at number 2 with 9 votes. Love's a Deadly Weapon. So with 43
9 people.
So with 43 points, the panel chose All Hell's Breaking Loose. Now let me go ahead and preface and say something. I love the All Hell's Breaking Loose video. I love it. I think it's one of the best videos from the 80s. I like it better than the Lick It Up video. I love it. It mirrors Motley Crue's Too Young to Fall in Love video in a lot of ways, but it's got comedy and it's got badassness and everything. And I love the whole All Hell's Breaking Loose song. I love it. I love the rap and I love just the badassness and everything. But this was a hard decision for me. And this is one of those songs that I listened to side by side at the very last minute. And I'm going to break you guys' hearts. But I'm going to choose Love's a Deadly Weapon on this one because I love Love's a Deadly Weapon. And I love, do you talk about Gene being a poet, Emily? He's witty. He's witty in this one. Love's a Deadly Weapon and Murder's on My Mind. That is a good lyric. That is a good lyric. So I went with Love's a Deadly Weapon on this one, and nothing to slight All Hell's Breaking Loose at all, but I just by a little bit I like Love's a Deadly Weapon better. So what about you, Carla?
Well, Brant broke your heart, and I'm gonna step on your hearts because I also went with Love's a Deadly Weapon. We were 2 of the 9. But
well, there's 2 of them. Okay, so who's the other 7?
I think this is a good song. I do not get the hate for this song at all. I like I'm Alive. This song shreds. There is I don't know why, but
we lost you entirely there, Carla. Start over. We lost you entirely with I think this is Gene being who he wants to be.
Carla, you're wrong. See, Carla, this is telling you you're wrong. You don't see. You need to change your vote.
Don't listen to the internet, Carla. You keep doing what you want to do. Don't listen to the internet.
I never do. So, yeah, this is Gene. I think being the Gene he wants to be. I think Gene and the 80s are kind of an interesting story. It's an interesting relationship. I always kind of say that Asylum is part of the neon era of Kiss. This is where you see the neon colors, the neon music videos, the neon album art, right? I don't think Gene was really on board with that. And so I think this song is like, hey, let me be who I want to be on at least one song. Can I take off the lipstick? Can I take off the neon green tank top?
Carla, totally agree with you, Carla. He needs to stay away from those Asylum outfits.
Right? It wasn't a good time for Gene, so I had to go with Love's a Deadly Weapon.
All right, what about you, Les?
All Hell's Breaking Loose for just, I've always wanted to hear the version that Eric I'd read where he, had way Paul, he didn't really like the way Paul did the rap and everything and I would like to have heard the way Eric wanted to do that song, but I just, like I said, the video was just amazing during that time. I loved it. I just love that song. I wish even now the lineup now would play that song. I think it would be better. And I've heard demos for Love's a Deadly Weapon too that are better to me than the one that's they actually put on Asylum. But I agree, it's Gene was really good on that one. But I got to go with All Hell's Breaking Loose. That's my pick.
Okay, I also went with All Hell's Breaking Loose just because of that music video and it's so iconic, and the fact that all 4 of them actually had a hand in writing it. It's just
true.
Yeah, and the fact that it's different. It's actually part rap, actually. There's nothing like that in the Kiss catalog, so I think it's just so unique. I just went with that, so the reasoning.
It's just funny I watched the video the other day and just seeing Paul say what be this and what be that. Today it's like, come on, man. come on.
I know.
It was cool back then, he was the breeze, but it was just like, why you gotta look like that? I mean, it's just like, but yeah, and Eric was trying to write a riff that has like a Led Zeppelin feel, that dun 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 dun, and I think Paul just took it in the direction that Eric really didn't care for. But Eric was a great songwriter. He was a great writer to be a drummer. He wrote some of my favorite work from Eric Carr is on The Elder. That's he Under the Rose, and a lot of stuff that he wrote on there is great. But that's a track versus track for another day. So
Definitely.
So that brings us up to, so far, that is Lick It Up 4 and Animalize 2. So, yeah. You want to be an associate producer?
No, you got to start as a line producer and then work your way up to associate, and then you work your way up to executive.
Okay, so Emily, you're the associate. Okay, so I'm executive producer, and then Carla is my producer, and then you're my assistant producer or whatever, and Les can be the script editor.
Yeah,
the boy.
Just get stuff that y'all need. Just
All right, so that brings us to the one that I got cussed over. I literally got cussed. I got a lot of damn yous. I got a lot. This ain't fair. I got this. Oh my God! Track number 7. A bunch of them. I got a bunch of hate. Not hate, but a bunch of strife over making people pick between these two tracks at track number 7. Track number 7, we have 1,000,000 to 1 off of Lick It Up versus Tears Are Falling from Asylum.
Yeah.
What's predictions?
wow.
I think the panel is gonna go with Lick It Up on this one. I think it's gonna be 1,000,000 to 1.
I agree. I think panel's going to go with 1,000,000 to 1.
Oh, I don't know. This. Oh God. I'm just gonna say they're gonna go with Tears Are Falling. I don't know.
And,
I think it's gonna be close, no matter what. I don't think it's gonna
definitely close.
Definitely.
so do y'all want to say y'all want to predict if this is the closest of all of them on the whole album?
Definitely. I think it is.
Yeah. It has to be. It has to be.
It has, yeah.
I predicted Tears Are Falling as well, and I knew making my prediction I had to make a prediction, and it could have been, I had a 50-50 chance, and I knew that there was a good chance I was going to be wrong. There's only 2 points that separates the winner and the loser on this. This is This is the closest 2 points, with 25 points coming in second. Tears Are Falling.
Wow.
27 points, 1,000,000 to 1. 1,000,000 to 1. 27 points. So my personal pick on this one, and this was a hard one for me, probably the hardest, but my personal pick on this one is 1,000,000 to 1. I love Tears Are Falling as well. It's a great Paul Stanley song. Like Wes said earlier, it's an amazing solo, very melodic solo. 1,000,000 to 1 is just one of those. This is a Vinnie Vincent song, and I love the opening line. It's just so simple, baby. Now that you've made up your mind, I gotta let you go. If that's what it takes to show love is blind. Great lyric. It tears me up every time. 1,000,000 to 1 is the ultimate breakup song. It's very, very. And I don't understand why they don't play this song live. I mean, my God, they're so stupid.
Paul's vocal.
Paul can't sing it.
Yeah, I know. Well,
Yeah. And
okay.
we don't want to give Vinny another. Yeah.
Okay. Well, now I didn't
royalties?
really want to go in this direction with this, following the New Year's Eve Kiss 2020 goodbye. But if we're gonna base what songs Paul shouldn't sing because he can't sing them, then every song needs to be sung by Gene in the whole show. Because Paul sounds like he's so sad. He sounds like I feel bad for him. He sounds like he's straining so hard, and you can even see the look in his face, like with the makeup off during sound check, he looked like he was in pain singing. And I'm like, dude, go do Soul Station. Go do something that is more suited for your voice now, because rock and roll ain't it.
Ain't it?
It ain't
It's
it.
like you just want to go up. It's like you just want to go up to Paul and go, like it sounds like he just needs to clear his throat or something, and he can't. It's just so sad too, because he's one of my top 3 favorite singers of all time.
He's gave us a lot. He's gave us a lot of good years.
Brent, when I heard him do this song in Atlanta at the Tabernacle on his opening night of the solo tour, I went to see that show. You know, when he had the band and everything, did his first little solo thing. He sounded phenomenal on this. But it seemed like, if you noticed, after that solo tour thing he did, something happened. I don't know what it was.
I heard he had surgery. I heard he had throat surgery.
I heard that too. And that under his doctor's orders, he sang the high register too early. Like, he disobeyed what his doctor said, and that's what happened.
Yeah.
All right. So did y'all tell y'all's picks already? No, you didn't.
No.
Because I got on my soapbox. So, executive producer, get us going again.
Come on, Carla.
I know a lot of people love 1,000,000 and I'm one of those people. I do love this song. I gotta go with Tears Are Falling. I love that song so much, and I just hear it more. For some reason, just comes up in my world a little bit more than 1,000,001. So I personally went with Tears Are Falling.
Okay. Les.
Tears Are Falling all the way. Really, and I hate to go back again and repeat what I just said, but the Bruce Kulick solo is, to me, it's just like makes the song, because if you play the songs, the progression is almost the same on the guitar. They're almost written almost the same 3 chords kind of thing, so it's, but it's like, to me, it's just, I got to go with Tears Are Falling. Plus that was huge on MTV. It was like everywhere. So yeah, I got to go with that. Tears Are Falling.
All right.
Em?
I went with Tears Are Falling as well, and when I saw that this was the matchup, I'm like, no, I wanted to choose 1,000,001, and if it were up against another song, I would have chose 1,000,001, but I had to go with Tears Are Falling because I remember seeing the music video a lot as a child, and to me, this is one of those songs that's kind of essential Kiss to me. It's on Smashes and Thrashes, yes, and it stuck more with me than, say, Look It Up did, but every time you just hear the and then it's raining part, and then the oh no, tears are falling. It enters your brain and doesn't leave. That's what I feel. So I had to go with it.
All right. So that brings us to track 8, and that is Fits Like a Glove off of Lick It Up against Secretly Cruel off of Asylum. What's predictions?
I think it's going to be Fits Like a Glove all the way.
Definitely Fits Like a Glove.
Yeah, I'm going to have to go with that as well.
Okay. I went with Fits Like a Glove as well. With 14 points. Number 2 is Secretly Cruel. The other filler song off of Asylum that is also a Gene song. And Fits Like a Glove, the kick-ass Gene song off of Lick It Up has 38 points. Me personally, I picked Fits Like a Glove because it fits like a glove. To me, it is badass. It's Young and Wasted Part 2. It's those 2 songs on this album have that very same feel. And this has one of my favorite Gene's lines in the whole Gene catalog. Because when I go through her, it's just like a hot knife through butter. And that scream that he does, the screams that he does on Fits Like a Glove is just amazing. So, and the band I was in, we used to play Fits Like a Glove, and it's fun as hell to play on drums. So, I imagine it's probably fun to play on guitar too with that solo, because it's got one of those blistering, Vinny solos.
Brand, I imagine that little drum fill that Eric plays in there is really cool to play, isn't it?
Yeah,
During
it
that
is.
song. Yeah.
It is. It really is.
We need to talk about this one day. We can talk music.
Okay, it sounds fun. Sounds fine to me. I can't talk too much music or Kiss. So, so what did you guys pick?
Yeah, I went with Fits Like a Glove. Easily one of my favorite songs on this album. This is just Gene being Gene. He is having a ton of fun with this song. And yeah, you're totally right. It's Young and Wasted Part 2. And yeah, I mean, from beginning to end, it's just such a good song. And to me, Secretly Cruel, that is the filler song on Asylum, for me at least. That's, like we were saying earlier, that's got like too much filling almost, that song. It's just, that's a filler.
Yeah.
Fits Like a Glove, oh man, it's just so incredible. So yeah, I went with Fits Like a Glove.
All right, Les, what about you?
Talk about a song that is great studio album wise and great live wise. This just perfectly to the stage, from the album to the stage, just amazing. And if you look at it, if I remember correctly, I think this is a Gene only written song. I think Gene wrote this one, by himself. I don't think Vinny was involved in this one. So this proved that, Gene can still write great songs, and everything on the album. And it's just and it looked like the band had fun playing this. I remember them playing this on the Crazy Nights tour, and all that stuff. So they kept this song in this set for a while for a good reason. It's just a fun, song, got everybody going and everything. So yeah, it definitely fits like a glove.
Right.
Yeah, and going off, sorry to interrupt, but going off of what you said, it's a timeless Kiss song too. If you didn't know Kiss that well, you wouldn't know, like, is this 80s Kiss? Is this 70s Kiss? It could be put on any Kiss album and
exactly
pulled up.
Yeah, it's held up. It's held up really well.
Oh, okay. Weirdly, I don't know why, but here in my notes, I have that I picked Secretly Cruel. I don't know why. Maybe I wasn't paying attention when I did this specifically, but yeah, I don't know why I chose Secretly Cruel at the time. Maybe I was just, I don't know.
You don't have to explain.
Hey, that's awesome, man.
I know it. I honestly don't know why I chose it. I think I was just, I just chose it. I don't have a backup reason. I don't have a backup reason why.
Hey, it's not
Sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Gene's wrote worse songs than Secretly Cruel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't think of any right now, but
Brad, listen to Hot in the Shade. There's
yeah.
several of them.
Oh yeah.
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 As
Okay.
long as you guys don't say Great Expectations, I'm fine with whatever else you guys want to say.
Love that song. That song is fun.
I love, don't even
Love
get me
to play
started
that.
on Great Expectations. Like,
Carla, you probably love the symphony version, right?
yeah, I love them all.
Exactly. Awesome.
All right. So as of right now, as it sits with 2 tracks to go, Lick It Up is winning this thing 6-2 right now. 6-2.
Wow. So,
I mean, there's only 2 tracks left. It can't, Asylum cannot come back at this point. But so let's just ride it out and see if the beating gets worse or if Asylum gets a little redemption. So the last 2 tracks, Dance All Over Your Face from Lick It Up and Radar for Love from Asylum. What's predictions?
I think the beating is gonna stop. Actually, I think Radar for Love is gonna take this one.
I agree. Radar for Love. Panel will pick that one.
Yeah, I have to go Radar for Love as well.
And I picked Radar for Love. It's Paul taking his another swing at writing a Led Zeppelin-ish type song. And he pulls it off very well with the stopping stopping and singing. It pulls it off very well. It's very heavily Led Zeppelin influenced, and there's nothing wrong with that. With 20 points, coming in second, Dance All Over Your Face. So Radar for Love wins with 32 points, and Radar for Love is my pick. I think it's a great song. It's one of my favorite Paul songs on Asylum. I love the Led Zeppelin swagger that it has, and even though Paul gets up in the rafters a couple times, he does it kind of tastefully, and it fits the song, and so I'm okay with it. So Radar for Love for me.
I went with "Dance All Over Your Face." I love the song. It makes me smile when I hear it because it's just a Gene cheesy 16-year-old brain kind of song, and it's just, I mean, only Gene could do this song. It's Gene having fun, and I just love it. I had to go with it. No shame here. I love it.
Before Les starts talking, I'm going to say this: "Dance All Over Your Face" is not a horrible song. It's not a horrible song. To me, what kills "Dance All Over Your Face" is placement. "Dance All Over Your Face" should not have followed "Fits Like a Glove." In contrast, they're two totally different songs, and it makes "Dance All Over Your Face" look worse than it really is.
Yeah.
Because it's following such a strong song, and it makes it look weak, and it's not that bad.
Absolutely.
And I like that. I like the whole dance all over your face. It's got a couple good Gene screams in it too, so it's not a bad song. Yeah. So what about? Okay, so now Les, what you got?
I picked Radar for Love for a lot of the same reasons. I'm a huge Zeppelin fan, so I mean, and that's when Paul does those Zeppelin songs well. When he tries to go on that direction and write that way, I really love the way he does that, and he pulls it off great. But either one of the songs aren't bad songs. I don't like flip them, or switch them or whatever, skip them, either one of them. So, but I went with Radar for Love. I just think it's, just a better song.
Okay. What about you, Em?
Yeah, I also went with Radar for Love, and I think I just liked Paul's vocal delivery on this one a little bit better than Gene's. Not that I think it's a bad song, because Dance All Over Your Face, it is a good song, but it's just a little too late. I think after everything on Lick It Up, and then you just kind of drudge off a little bit. But yeah, Radar for Love, it gets stuck in my head easier, I think, and that's why I chose it.
All right, so that brings us to the last track, and on the 8th day off of Lick It Up, and All Night off of Asylum. So what's predictions?
I think Asylum's gonna finish it off. I think it's gonna be All Night.
Oh, I agree. All Night.
I have to agree as well. How can it not be?
Yeah. And I agree as well too. And every time I say the word All Night, I see Paul Stanley in that Kiss Exposed video right there in the mansion. All night. All night. We want to hear all night. So that I see that in every time I hear it. Just like see the name of the song, and that's what I hear. So yeah, that's my pick too. And with 14 points, coming in second place, and on the 8th day. So All Night finishes out at number 1 with 38 points. My personal pick is All Night. It's a great song. It's a great video. But I just love that dunk 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 dunk. I mean, it just that little simple riff sets the whole. And I like the slide guitar in it. And great video, great song, and a great way to finish out the album. Asylum finished out strong, so it's All Night for me. What about you guys?
Yeah, same here. I independently love that song, but when it came to track versus track, I actually don't like On the 8th Day. I know a lot of people love that song. To me, that's the filler song on Lick It Up, and it's weird to have a filler song be your last song, but for me, that's what it is. So no matter what, All Night was going to win, but I mean, I love that song. I think it's a really fun song. Again, it's just Kiss having fun. So I had to go with All Night.
All right, Les?
Definitely for me, All Night. That's another one that's just fun to play too. It's just so, you know, and it's like it doesn't take you long to learn that little dun 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 dun, dun. And it's so simple, you know. You can learn that 5 minutes playing guitar, you know, that little lick part there. But I agree with you, Carla. I think that they were probably just trying to find another song, maybe, because on the eighth day, I don't like that song at all. That's one that I do skip. I don't really listen to that one on Lick It Up at all. I mean, I think that's probably, to me, it's the weakest track on the album. If I had to, you know, just whatever.
100%. Yeah.
There's a reason they put it last. Like, I don't know. You think it's over the bang or whatever, but
That's a good point, yeah.
It's just, yeah, all night for me, definitely. And the video, oh my God, Brant, when that video was on, this 12-year-old, you know, and yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Cool. Loved it.
All right, Em, what about you? You loved the video too, didn't you, Em?
Yes, you did.
Yeah. I remember I was like 3 or 4 when watching that for the first time on a VHS
Then Mama Sandy loved the video.
Yeah, well, I had to go all night because it's just, there's no contest. There is no contest, and it's so iconic with the band and their outfits and just the whole concept and the riff. It's just so catchy. There's a reason why they chose it to be their single, a single from this record, and it's just, it's so catchy.
All right, so that finishes out Lick It Up, 6 tracks to Asylum, 4 tracks. So we have the winner of track versus track is Lick It Up. So now, favorite cover. What is your favorite cover between these two, starting with Carla?
Okay, so I'm going to try not to talk too long about this, but I have a conspiracy theory about the Lick It Up album cover. I think they were trying to copy their debut album cover. I think they were trying, like, the debut album cover's black, right? Lick It Up is white. Just their faces. Gene's in the exact same spot that he is on the debut album cover. He's the only one making a weird face, like he is on the debut album cover for them. And the over album cover for them. Love the Lick It Up album cover, but I have a personal connection to the Asylum album cover. One of my first memories of life, not just Kiss, but of life. There was a restaurant I used to go to a lot as a kid, my family and I, and they had that album cover on the wall. And I had no idea who Kiss was. It was really weird that they had that album cover because it wasn't like it was just a bar and grill. And so, yeah, I remember looking at that album cover as a kid and being mesmerized by it. And so every time we would go to that restaurant, I had to sit facing that album cover. And I didn't know anything about Kiss at the time. I was 5. And yeah, so for me personally, I have to go with Asylum.
Okay, Les?
I gotta go Lick It Up. I mean, to me, the Asylum cover is, no offense, Carla, it's just, ugh.
No.
It's, I don't know. And I really didn't like them trying to play on the whole, you know, Ace and Peter thing with the color scheme there and stuff they were kind of going with. That's kind of the way we looked at it at the time. We were just like, oh man, they're just trying to, you know, which I've always loved Eric Carr. And, you know, most everybody did at that point. But Bruce was still kind of the, you know, I mean, I didn't even know who Bruce Kulick was until I saw the Animalize Uncensored video. So at that time. So, but I mean, but I got to go with Lick It Up. I mean, I know everybody says that that's a mannequin and just Beanie's face put on there or whatever. I don't know if that's true or whatever. But, and I heard that they were just doing some Polaroids and then they just pick that cover or whatever, but I don't know. But I would definitely have to go with Lick It Up on that one.
Okay, well for me, I don't know. I have to go Lick It Up as well. And the Asylum cover, I think, like Les says, like it's sad that you got Bruce in the blue and Eric in the green, and like I think if they were gonna do this, at least give Eric the orange. At least give him the orange lips. He had his own identity. He wasn't trying to be Peter. He had his own identity. At least give him the orange. But yeah, it had to be big for people back in 1983 because it was like, whoa, Kiss without makeup. Like, whoa, which one's Paul? If you missed it for some reason, but like everyone knew that's Gene, everyone did. But it's just like, whoa, this is what they look like in normal clothes, like normal street clothes or performing clothes. So I think I have to go look it up as well.
I remember, like I said, I remember when they took the makeup off, and this album cover here has just always meant a lot to me. And I remember people thinking, I've heard a bunch of things like, yeah, people knew who Paul was, people who knew who Gene was. Eric had been around long enough where people knew who he was. A lot of people thought that was Ace without his makeup, which I see the facial features. I mean, it could...
Like the hair.
The hair. And I
Yeah,
think with Vinny, I think that's actually him, but I think this is a wig. I think Vinny had a wig on in this. And
Definitely.
Yeah, I don't think that's really his hair.
It's definitely a wig.
Yeah, that he has a wig on. But I just think this is very cool. Kiss looks very stylish. They're back in their black leather, and Vinny's got the purple on to bring in a little color. He's got the Ankh on to show that he was the Ankh warrior. Kind of like, hey, this ain't Ace. He's the Ankh guy because he's got his Ankh on his shirt. But yeah, I thought this. I love this album cover. This album. This is like very 1982, 1983, very simple. I was not a big fan of the Asylum styling. It's kind of grew on me, but this just looked like what pop bands was doing and what the Police was doing. Very synchronicity type thing, and that's not Kiss to me. So I wasn't a big fan of this, but actually, as I've gotten older, I actually like this, and I know that Rick from It's All For You Demons is a big fan of that cover as well. So yeah.
I read where Paul said he kind of got an idea from a Talking Heads album to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, or like the Motel. Like I think it was something like that. Like it was definitely.
It was definitely them
like,
kind of copying somebody off.
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, that's part of that neon era.
Yeah.
Yeah, they definitely went over the top with the costumes during this. Anytime, but now I went to this show. This is one that Asylum actually won press passes to. I had a camera. I was down front. I got some really good photos. The negatives have long been lost in a theft that I had. A lot of my other stuff got stolen out of. This is probably one of my favorite stages, other than Love Gun. Probably one of my favorite stages, just because of the size of the Kiss logo. It went from the stage to the ceiling. It was freaking huge, and so it's just anytime you see pictures. I was watching a video today, listening to Asylum, and they were cycling through some pictures, and I was looking past the costumes and looking at that damn sign because that was the most massive, impressive Kiss sign of all. I like the classic and everything, but it was just amazing. So that finishes that up. Unless anybody's got any closing words, I'm going to go on to what's going to be next. Y'all want to see what's going to be next? Ready?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Okay.
So we've done makeup versus makeup up to this point, and we dabbled a little bit in non-makeup versus non-makeup, and I took some time last night and I was trying to think about what was going to be next, and I went online on Kiss discography and I was looking at the total tracks on all the albums, and I was trying to figure out what we've not matched up so far yet and kind of building out some future matches. And I came across two albums that both have 11 tracks, 11 legitimate tracks. The problem is they're from two different eras. Oh, they're from a makeup and a non-makeup era, but they both have 11 tracks. So I thought this could be fun. So in the next track versus track, we're going to have Crazy Nights.
Okay.
It's unmasked.
Go up against Unmasked.
Oh.
Yeah, Unmasked. I'm trying to remember
Rick
Crazy
is
Nights
gonna
had 11
be-
tracks on it.
Crazy Nights against Unmasked. 11 tracks. 11 tracks. So, have fun with that.
Very poppy albums.
Yeah.
Two very poppy albums.
So, yeah, so have fun with that.
Bon Jovi-esque Kiss versus Pop Kiss.
Yeah.
I personally am going to have a great time. I love whenever we do Kiss track versus track because I just kind of, kind of submerse myself into those two albums, and it's going to be a good week. It's going to be a good week. So when you see this video, go to my social media, look for the post, and get your track versus track in. And always remember, if you're watching these videos and you're seeing those social media posts, it is track versus track. Track 1 versus track 1. Track 2 versus track 2. It is not a best of where you can just pick. If you submit a list where you've just picked a best of, a top 10 or whatever, I won't count you because you're not following the rules. You're not reading the instructions. And so, so 11 tracks. And when you see it, just go ahead and get it in. All right. Y'all got anything else?
This one was really, really fun. And I don't really, I listened to the 80s. I listened to 80s Kiss, but just not as much. So it was really fun to listen to these albums that I haven't listened to in a while, and to just kind of hear them in a different way since I had to go track versus track. So this was a ton of fun. I'm really excited for the next one too.
Okay. What about you, Les?
Oh, yeah. I had a blast, Brant. Thanks for having me on. I know we've been trying to do this for a while, but I hope I can be back on again. Hint, hint. I would love to do that next one. That's because Unmasked is one of my favorite albums. I know that might not, whatever, because that's the first Kiss album I bought. Like, remember going to the store and getting the day of release. So that was cool. But, yeah, I had a great time.
You're invited back. You can come back for that one. So look for Les back in that next video.
Thank you. Awesome.
Yeah, it was just really, really fun. I really enjoy anything that I'm invited on to do, especially with all of you. You guys are really awesome. And like Carla, I don't really listen to 80s Kiss as much, except for like the songs that I consider to be essential. And just to kind of be not forced, but like, it'll get the ball rolling on. Hey, listen to these more. So that was just the best part about doing this along with all of you.
I forgot how much I love Lick It Up. Like, I completely forgot how much I love this album. So now this album has, like, jumped to, like, the top of my list. If I'm going to listen to just Kiss albums, this is, like, jumped to the top of my list because I just forgot how much I love this album.
It's really good.
Carla, you can tell Kiss knew we've got to make a great album. You knew Paul and Gene were like, we have got to do this because we're like, especially Paul, you could just tell he really brought it, on this one. And just, so yeah, it was just, yeah. And the gold, a sip of gold Kool-Aid, we'll go with Vinny again.
Gold Flocker, yeah.
Yeah, Vinny didn't.
There you go, Carla.
Vinny definitely helped.
Yeah.
And everybody, I want to say, check out Emily Graziano. Look for her on YouTube. She makes some really awesome videos, and I need to get caught up. I'm behind on my people that I follow. I'm behind on their videos.
Carla, what is your channel? What is the name on yours? Your YouTube channel?
This is it.
This is it?
She just has.
I don't have one.
She just has an amazing Instagram channel. It's Thyle Garden.
Oh, okay. So I thought she had a YouTube channel. My bad. Sorry.
No, it's okay. I think everyone assumes I have a YouTube channel. I don't. I don't feel like I would have anything interesting to talk about. I don't feel like I'm interesting.
I keep her busy. I keep her busy enough.
True that, Brent. True that.
Yeah, I don't feel like I honestly have anything interesting to say as well. I'm like running out of things to do.
Oh, man, we always talk about good stuff.
No.
I know. Your channel's awesome.
I'm just running out of things to talk about, that's all. Like, people keep telling me, oh, you review the Kiss albums. I'm like, that's not very original.
Hey, just keep the John Wayne content coming.
Okay, well, yeah, I can do that.
Yeah, keep the John Wayne content coming.
Especially because no one would be doing it. It's actually not popular to talk about John Wayne. But yeah, maybe I'll do that. I'll keep the John Wayne content.
Hey, There's something for everybody on YouTube. No, Carla has an amazing Instagram, and she did a story the other day where she was at work and she had run out of snacks, and she had a little filter going on where it had a microphone in front of her mouth, and it was making her echo.
Yeah.
And I watched that thing like 3 or 4 times, just chuckling at it like crazy because it was so funny. So she's very entertaining.
I'm gonna watch that now.
She is very entertaining.
If you don't know, I work in radio. I'm on air. I'm a DJ, and if you are tired or if you have no energy and you're doing that, you think, oh, you just sit in a chair and talk in a microphone, but it takes a lot of energy, and I was so drained yesterday. I had no energy, and I just kind of coasted through the show, and it's kind of a PSA to myself, like, don't forget your snacks because it's not a good time. So yeah.
That's crazy, Carla. I have a degree in broadcasting. I took it at JSU, and I did it for like 6 months. And I was like, man, it's like I'm making minimum wage here. So I was like, I got to do something else. But it was so
yeah,
fun.
you don't get the radio for the money, that's for sure. But
They kept
but
telling me sales. You need to get in sales if you want to make money in this.
Yeah. But no, I mean, I work for a classic rock station, so I get to talk about Kiss and Pink Floyd and Led Zeppelin for a living.
That's
so I mean,
cool.
wow.
And just that's cool.
Brant, have you bought any new Kiss merch?
What's that?
Have you bought any new Kiss merch?
I was looking for a 2021 Kiss poster, not Kiss poster, but a Kiss calendar, and they've got one, but all the pictures in it are horrible. All the pictures in it are horrible, and I'm just like, huh. I mean, like,
is it all new? Is it all the new Kiss, or is it just
yeah?
It's all the new Kiss, and even the picture that they've got on the front of the calendar is like one of the old pictures of Eric, like when he first joined the band, and they first put the makeup back on him, and the picture is horrible. Wow. I mean, I'm just sitting here going, yeah, it's not a good calendar this year. It's made by the same people who's made the last 2 that's been really good, but the one this year is just horrible. It's not worth $20 in my opinion. And it doesn't even come it doesn't even come in a commemorative sleeve or anything like that. It's just horrible.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Just Kiss, just not trying. I know a lot of that stuff they don't have anything to do with, but anyway, I don't even gonna get on that soapbox.
It's like Brent. Everything you see back here, there's not one single thing with Tommy and Eric in it. I'm not saying that they're bad or anything, but I just collect that Kiss.
Yeah, every kid wanting that Tommy Thayer poster on their wall.
I had somebody who was going to make a cup for me. They make cups. They make those tumbler cups. And I said, you make a Kiss one for me. And so she sent me the design, what the design was going to look like. And it was a picture that had Tommy and Eric in it. And I'm like, I don't want that one. I don't want those 2 guys to go. And she's like, what's the difference? I'm like, oh, I don't even want to. I'm like, I don't even want a cup from you anymore. Damn it! I'll get my cup somewhere else. Keep your damn cups.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, remember they had the Pez dispensers, and you could get them like together, and idea, and then when I realized it was Tommy and Eric, I was like, I wish I separately.
Yeah.
I would just Paul and Jean. I don't want to buy Tommy and Eric too.
Yeah.
Well, no offense to them, but it's like, why?
Exactly.
I don't know. Like I said, I'm just stuck in that earlier vein of if it's makeup, I want Ace and Peter. If it's non-makeup. I don't care because, like I said, I didn't have a problem with Bruce and I didn't have a problem with Eric whenever he was non-makeup. With Carnival of Souls, Revenge, I didn't have a problem with any of that. I just don't like them pushing them on me with the makeup on and everything. I just don't like it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I agree.
I agree totally.
Well, we ain't going to have them around much longer, so I guess we enjoy them while we got them. But, man, that thing the other night, I ended up not getting it. From those of you who are still watching the video at this point in time, I ended up not getting it. I ended up watching it off of somebody put it up on YouTube. It wasn't the greatest quality. But I watched it a little bit, and then I quit because I almost just started skipping Paul songs and just listening to Gene songs. I listened to Gene do War Machine, and fuck, he still sounds good. I mean, Gene sounded awesome. Gene still sounds good. But
He
Paul,
does.
Paul just hurts, man. He hurts my soul because I go back and I listen to his 1978 solo album, and listen to albums like this, like him singing on 1,000,000 and songs like that. And Paul he used to have just such a great voice, but he just don't anymore. He just don't. And
It's sad. It's
Very,
sad.
very sad, but it just keeps. Yeah, we had a show New Year's Eve, so I couldn't watch it anyway. But I wasn't going to. I don't know. I just wasn't going to get it. And I know they were charging all kind of crazy prices for that. The upper level package or whatever and all that stuff. So I'm just like you, Brand. I watched a little bit of it on YouTube or whatever, but I don't know.
I follow somebody on Instagram who was there, and so they went live a few times, so I was kind of able to see it from a really cool perspective, like from the venue. But yeah, I didn't buy it.
And the internet censored her again.
No.
The internet keeps censoring you, Carla. Every time you get ready to say something controversial, Paul Stanley hits the freeze button on you.
Oh.
Yeah. Paul's doing it.
All right. Well, if any of you still watching, hope you enjoy us just sitting around talking about stuff that has nothing to do with what we're talking about. And a lot of times I cut this out, but I've had people start telling me that after I put a video out where I had cut out 20 minutes of me and Rick talking, and they're like, don't cut that stuff out. Leave that in. We like hearing it. So
Exactly, Brent. That's the great stuff. Keep that in there.
So
Awesome.
So here you go. You get an extra 10, 15 minutes of us rambling at the end when we're done. Because we're just, at the end of the day, we're just four people who like Kiss, and it don't matter if we like different eras or not, and it don't matter if you like a different era or not, and it just matters that it is the same band. It's not the same band, but it is the band. I would tread delicately on that subject.
Yeah.
But yeah, we all have our favorite eras, and hey, if this is your favorite era, more power to you. I'm going to go ahead and put it up again. There's my Cash App and my email. If you want to donate $10, you can Cash App it to me, and I will make a video of any questions you ask. I will make a video if you want me to do a song reaction. Doesn't have to be Kiss. It can be anything. If you want me to review an album and tell you what I think about it and list my tracks from favorite to least favorite, or if you want to suggest a track versus track, if you want to and it doesn't have to be Kiss, it can be anything. If you want to suggest $10 donation to my Cash App, then send me your email and say, hey, I sent you $10. This is my Cash App name, and I want you to do such and such. Or if you just want to send me $10, you can send me $10, and I'll mention your name in the video saying so and so sent me $10. That's all I got for tonight. All right, guys. I appreciate you guys. Carla, as always. Les, see you next time. Emily, there'll be another time. We need to get those. We need to get those Gene Simmons Family Jewels videos going. Me and her have been talking about doing some Gene Simmons Family Jewels commentary videos for a while. So we'll have a good time doing that. We'll get to it this year, Emily. Okay?
Okay.
All right. All right. Tell Mama Sandy I said hey.
Yeah, she really wanted to come, but she didn't want to. She doesn't like appearing on camera that much, but she still loves all of you. So.
Tell her we love her.
We love her too.
Yeah, we love her.
I will.
All right. All right. Well, that's all I've got. So we'll see you in the next one. Bye, everybody. Everybody say bye.
Bye, buddy. Bye, Carla. Bye, Em. Bye, Brand.
Bye.
Bye.